Welcome back, team. Now I'm going to bring up a scenario for you, team. Okay, let's go back to our discussion. Okay, I'm going to bring up a use case for you. Okay, team. So for UDD level, I just want to discuss one interesting thing with you. See, team, you have an Ubuntu image, correct? You have an Ubuntu image. This particular Ubuntu image, you want to run that Ubuntu image as a container. Okay, that's absolutely all right. On top of the container, I want to install Apache inside of the container, and I want to create an image locally, and I want to push that image to the Dockerhub. You know what exactly you're doing? This is called customizing an image, okay? Customization, okay? Image customization. So how exactly we can make custom images, okay? So how exactly we can create the custom images, okay? Customized images, okay? That is what exactly the scenario which we are trying to prove here. That is very easy, okay? Step number one, you should have some base image. Point number one, you should have some base image, okay? Just a second, huh? Yeah, you should have some base image. My base image is the Ubuntu, okay? That's what I already have. On top of it, just run the image as a container. Go inside the container, install the Apache, then create image with Apache, and whatever the Apache created image, push that one to Dockerhub. You know, whatever the image you push it to the Dockerhub, that has Apache installed. That's exactly the image you created. Later in future, any of your team members require a Ubuntu with Apache installed, directly they can pull this image. They no need to go through these steps again. Directly they can pull this image. That image is already with Apache. That's exactly the use case here, team. That's exactly the use case. Now let's go back, team. Let's prove that one. Okay, let's prove that one. So first and foremost thing, you are already inside a container, right? You're already inside a container. Once you are inside a container, you know how exactly the Ubuntu works, right? You just go there, ls. You know, let's double check whether really it's Ubuntu image or not. Basically, the Ubuntu, this is the default folder structure, this default directory structure. That's absolutely all right. But the interesting fact here is, tell me, team, I want to install Apache. That's exactly my intention. To do that activity, basically, you need to install the modules first, right? So I'm just taking apt update, okay, for example. So you may get out, hey, earlier when you're doing in the VM, you applied sudo apt update. But this time you are just updating an apt update because you are already logged in with the root team. You are already with the root, so you don't need to apply sudo and all. Just hit enter. So automatically it will pull all the latest modules into your aptitude modules into your Ubuntu image, Ubuntu container. That is what you are doing operations inside a container. Remember the point, team. Remember the point. That is important. Alright. Once you are done. So far, awesome. So the next important thing here is, okay, once you are inside, next I'm trying to install the Apache, right? apt install Apache 2. I'm just installing the Apache. So it is just asking, okay, Apache is the web server which I'm trying to install inside a particularly a container. Okay, alright, so far good. So once you install the Apache 2 into your container, wait for a moment. Alright, perfectly alright, team. So once you are done with this particular thing, then next one is apt install curl. Okay, that's the next important thing, team. Next we'll try to install the curl inside this particularly this virtual machine. Okay, let's try to install. So once you are done with this particular activity, then you know the curl is the one which helps us to just connect with any of the URLs. You know why install curl? There is a reason behind it. Because I want to check whether really your Docker been installed with the proper container or not. That is the reason. Curl. I'm just double checking. Localhost -80. That's the thing exactly I'm checking. See, it is telling connection refused. Oh, seems to be. I believe your installation is not so good. Okay, the failed. It is because Apache server directly will listen on port 80. But I'm unable to connect to the port 80, team. Okay, let me check whether your Apache is really running or not. Service Apache 2 status. Okay, I'm just double checking. See, Apache 2 is not running, team. That's a problem. Apache 2 is not running. Web server is not running. Let's start the web server first. Okay, service Apache 2 start. I'm just starting the web server. I'm trying to start. Okay, something you attempted. Let's see one more time the status. Okay, see, Apache 2 is running now. Apache 2 is running now. Now you can comfortably go there and try the command. Call localhost 80. Say perfect. I'm getting some HTML response. That's perfectly alright. So what you did now? You simply install Apache inside a container. That is what exactly you achieved so far. Okay. Once you are done with this activity, your container been installed with Apache. That's the thing exactly happened now. I'm just exiting out of this. Okay, I'm just moving out of this particular command, moving out of this particular container. Sorry. Once you are here, I'm just going back. I'm just applying one more command. Whatever the thing usually I will look for, sudo docker ps. It is still running because you applied the command in the completely in a detached mode. That's why Ubuntu container is because of this one. Your container is running. That's okay. Now what is my goal? Let's refer the goal. Ubuntu image you took, you created a container, you installed the Apache. So far clear. Now create an image locally. First you need to do this one thing. Whenever you want to create new images locally, what exactly you need to do? You need to use the commit command. The commit command will help you to just create an image. Okay, that is exactly the advantage of that one. Okay, let's try to type the command. Sudo docker commit. That is exactly the command I'm trying. Container ID, and I'm just giving some image name as Ubuntu _ Apache. I'm just giving some image name called Ubuntu _ Apache. Just try to hit enter. So what exactly the thing you are trying to do now? So what are the changes are there? Changes are there in the container team. I'm just trying to commit those changes. Okay, commit those changes to be frank into this particular new image. So kind of checking the code to the repository. In the same way, I'm just committing the changes whatever I did in the container. Those things permanently I'm committing to the image. This is my new image team, Ubuntu _ Apache. You tell me one thing, team. You started your discussion, especially with Ubuntu, correct? This is what exactly the thing your journey started. 77.8 MB, but your installation now is 230 MB. You know what exactly the different thing you did? You did quite a number of things here. First one, you installed curl. On top of it, you just install Apache. So few installations you did, that is why your size got increased. You also need to understand that. That's perfectly alright, team. So far good. So fine, team. Okay, so I'm just going there sudo docker images is the one which you already noted. Sudo docker ps is the one which will help us to just look for whether any containers are available or not. So for awesome tip. So now what exactly the thing you need to understand? A little bit knowledge, especially on how to stop, how to remove the container also. You need to understand. If that knowledge is also good, that one will be really awesome. I'm just going there sudo docker. For example, I want to stop the container. This is a running container, right? Sudo docker stop. You just take the container ID and just go paste over there. That's it. When you apply the stop command, a container will be stopped. Very easy, just a plain English command. Very easy to understand and apply also. So once you stop this particular container, if you want to remove the container, for example, so stop meaning that it will not be displayed here, but it will display here because all stopped containers will be displayed here. You know that already, right? So now what exactly I'm doing? Sudo docker. For example, I want to remove one particular container, RM. Okay, I'm just removing one container, any container team. I'm just taking one of the Ubuntu container. I'm just taking that particular container ID. That's all. Now you apply sudo docker ps-ac. You're displaying with only 3. So I showed you how to remove, how to stop a container, how to remove a container, how to start a container. Those things and all you understand. Okay. Finally, one thing is pending as part of our program. So our scenario. So you created an image locally. That's awesome. But the pending part is you need to push that image to the Dockerhub. That is the pending part. So to push an image to the Dockerhub team. What exactly the things you need to do? Now go back to your terminal. So far clear. I'm just clearing the screen. So the important thing here is I told you already, whenever you want to push any image, especially to the Dockerhub, what exactly the thing you need to do? The first thing, you need to log in. So how to log in? Sudo docker login team. Okay. Step number 1, sudo docker login. Okay. That's the thing exactly you need to do. The moment when you try to log in, sudo docker login, right team. So what exactly the thing? See, it is asking username. I have one username which I created few years before. Just type it. And there is a password also. I'm just giving the Let me try the password. Okay, I think I gave the right password. Let's see. Yes, perfect. So login succeeded. You know what exactly you achieved, team? You logged into the Dockerhub through CLI. That's what exactly you achieved now. Once you are done with this particular part, team, the next important thing what you need to do, you need to push your image, right? Sudo docker images, right? So Ubuntu Apache is the one of the image which you can think of always, right? So now what exactly you need to do? Sudo docker push. Sudo docker push. You are trying to push an image, team. That's the thing exactly you are doing. Where exactly you want to push? Because this is the exactly the image which you are trying to push, right? That is exactly the thing which you need to understand. Okay, I'm just giving this particular push. Press enter. See, it is trying to push this particular thing, especially to this. Okay, oh, sorry, sorry. The small mistake here. The push refers to the repository of Ubuntu Apache. I think we will deny requested access to the resources denied. Just a small correction here. Just a second. Perfectly alright. Okay, I think small correction. Okay, small correction here. Apologies for this, for the confusion. Okay, let me explain what happened exactly. Okay, team. Okay, so our goal is to just push an image to Dockerhub, right? So what exactly we achieved while committing an image, especially whatever the changes in the container while committing, the only format which you need to follow is user ID / image name. Remember the point, team. User ID / image name is the format which you should follow. The what exactly the thing missed out, I think that's exactly the correction we did here. Let me explain what exactly we did here. Especially sudo docker commit. Sudo docker commit is the command exactly we corrected. So especially we just commit that one with the user ID / image name. But initially when you attempted, while you are committing, we missed the user ID. That is where exactly I think it was unable to identify where it needs to be pushed. That's a problem, team. Okay. So that is the first thing which you need to keep in your mind. So that's the first correction we understand. Okay, that's a very good one. And also, while you are committing that one to a customized image, you need to just use a sudo docker push to push to your Dockerhub. That's all. So now your image being pushed to the Dockerhub. Now you can go to the Dockerhub team. There you just go there. You just try to reload. Okay, just try to reload. So obviously you can see the change here in the Dockerhub. I think what are the image you pushed just now. Okay, you can see that image, and you can pull the image by using our docker pull command. That's absolutely fine. So this is the image exactly pushed a minute ago. Okay, you can go there and you can play with this particular image. That's absolutely all right, team. Okay, I'm just giving this particularly this particular endpoint for you. So you can go there. You can apply. Instead of push, you can just apply the pull. It will be downloaded into your Ubuntu machines. Okay, it will be downloaded. Now you can play with this command, especially if you want to build on top of it, on top of some Apache server. Directly you can pull this image. So that is what exactly the customized images, especially how we need to build and how we need to push. In that way, you can think of always, team. That is one of the best use case which you can think always. Okay, that is one of the customized image. This is the flow exactly we cleared just now. Okay, that's perfectly all right. Okay, so far okay, that's really awesome. Okay, now team, what exactly the next thing? What exactly I want to discuss here is, okay, so I want to highlight one thing. Okay, we understand, we took one base image, we created a custom image. Okay, and we stored that one to the Dockerhub. But you cannot use the same technique in real time, team. This is not your real time technique, because we will not push anything to the Dockerhub. Never. We will never push anything to the Dockerhub. We will always try to push everything to our Azure registry or AWS registry or GCP registry. That is what the existing registries which you can think always. Now, what exactly you need to think about? I'm going to present you one scenario here itself, okay? If you notice this particular diagram screen, I'm just giving one example, similar comparison. You have one base image like Ubuntu, right? We have one base image called Java 8. On top of it, you created a container. Okay. On top of it, you have executed few instructions. That is what exactly we did now by using Apache installation and all. And finally, you will create a custom image, whatever the image is there. And you will push that particular custom image into your Azure Container Registry. That is how exactly our process works. Okay, our process works. I'm just keeping your ACR. ACR refers to Azure Container Registry. Instead of Dockerhub, we will push this one to ACR. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. Thank you for the session. See you in the next part.